Bloomberg, for its recent COVID resilience ranking, had adopted the indicators in a way that the US, despite having the highest number of deaths and infections from the COVID-19, was ironically able to secure the #1 position in the index. The report with the title, "The Best and Worst Places to Be as the World Finally Reopens," took normalization to be the fundamental parameter for this assessment. The experts in Pakistan are, however, of the view that the ranking is very subjective and is by no means an objective analysis, and it seems to provide direct political mileage to the US.
When you look at the variables that have been taken in this index, there are 12 variables, and in these variables, I feel that only those variables are taken which suits the mighty economy USA, and that places it on #1. Secondly, there's a famous maxim that statisticians always say that beat the data and it will confess anything. The same thing seems to be with the Bloomberg index. We always question that how the data has been collected, what kind of data has been collected, and were there any lags in the data when this index has been composed. So these are all big question marks on Bloomberg index when we are looking into the resilience, and taking in account that just because they have opened the borders and the life has gone normal doesn't mean that we have tamed the virus. The virus is still there. And right now we do not have a plausible data sets which can say that, okay, because of the vaccinations, the hospitalization is going down. It's not. We do not have the data sets that can prove it. It is still, we are still at a very nascent stage on that. So it's more of a political stunt, and it's the index that Bloomberg has just released about the resilience, it's very subjective.
The index was based on 53 major economies of the world. The core parameter of normalization was pivoted mainly around the opening up and the revival of international travel, not prioritizing the most important factors of death toll and infection rates from the COVID-19, which was central in the previous ranking and logically have the defining role as the pandemic is going on and getting further severe with the development of new and more lethal variants. Moreover, the preventive measures of travel quarantines and the lockdowns were portrayed as negative, undermining the significance of human life, not to mention the basic facts and the scientific approach.
I don't think it merits any discussion on that. You should actually, you talk to any public health professional, they will never believe that you can have an indicators or list of indicators for corona pandemic sort of ranking in which there is no effective measures of non-pharmaceutical intervention, or there is no consideration of number of cases and there is no consideration of number of deaths. So I don't think that is justifiable by any means. I don't think there is much to defend in this case, and it's very simple that whenever you are sort of ranking the countries on a matrix, the basis has to be scientific. Defying science is simply because of some of your own agenda to bring somebody up. The WHO followed science, and those who are saying anything else. Now in 2021, in the month of July, you are telling people that number of cases, number of deaths, the protective measures, public health measures are not to be counted. I don't think that is something which is advisable, and which I think we should not be sort of even thinking about these things which they are propagating.